Sunday was the hottest day ever recorded on planet Earth. The records only go back a couple hundred years, but the scientists, by using proxy records, are quite confident that Sunday was the hottest day in the last at least 125,000 years. It doesn't hold the record anymore because Monday was hotter. So we're living through, sadly, historic times, which gives the conversation and the work that we're all doing a certain special piquancy and urgency. And Frank, you've been doing so much of this work, especially with young people. I've spent much of my life organizing young people. I started 350.org with 7 college students at Middlebury, your alma mater. But you're now doing that work all the time. So give us some sense of how you find young people dealing with the fact that they're living on a very new planet.
So I'll do that, and I'm delighted and honored to be with you. And before I answer that question, I also want to thank you and say how blown away I am by my experience here at Chautauqua. Not only are people so engaged and so interesting, but people are actually nice here. I mean, coming from Washington, D.C., I'm not sure how to deal with that. Smile and they say hi and like they actually care. So it gives me a lot of hope. But I'm really impressed by the people here, the place, the conversations that are taking place. And this too gives me a lot of hope. I like to refer to myself as a glass half empty optimist. Right? The journalist in me is quick to go to the glass half empty. The optimist in me is actually fueled by the work that you do and that we do and that you do and that young people do. So to answer your question, I spent most of my career as a reporter going around the world. And what do you do as a reporter going around the world? You report on stuff that's bad. You report on stuff that isn't working, on violence and conflict and tension and yelling and screaming. And one of the reasons I left journalism full-time, I still do a lot of it, and came to do what I'm doing now at George Washington University, George Mason University before that, is because I wanted to invest in the future, right? How and what can we do that makes this a better place? So Planet Forward was something I was thinking, okay, well, what if we take media, plant it at a university, engage young people, tap into the knowledge that faculty and researchers and scholars are doing as they search for new knowledge, and actually bring an attention span to something which typical media don't have, right? I like to say, in cable television where I come from, if you're not born with attention deficit disorder, we will teach it to you. And so this was born out of an idea that, what if we could motivate young people to tap into their imagination and their creativity, to connect it with fact and knowledge, to build narratives from across the world where they come from, and focus on the ideas, the innovations, the research to actually move the planet forward. We know a lot about the doom and gloom stuff out there, and it can be overwhelming, right, Bill? I mean, this is what we're up against too. But there are so many people doing so many interesting, exciting things. And what if we tell their stories? And I had probably the most meaningful note I ever got from a student last year. And she wrote, when I came to this class, this is the class where we were doing this sort of sustainability reporting stuff and exposing people to these new ideas and new people. She said, I was completely depressed. I felt this was a lost cause. And as I started to learn about what people were doing, what we could do, and how we can raise our voices as storytellers to inform and engage others, I actually have a newfound hope, and I feel empowered. So that's kind of where this has come from. And so I'm working with young people who will be the next generations, plural, of environmental leaders and communicators.